Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at this week's Sunday preview. This video is sponsored by the Game Bunker. More on that later. Sunday preview. Reinforce your Horus Heresy army with standalone Saturnine kits. You might already be getting to grips with the new edition of Warhammer the Horus Heresy Age of Darkness, and individual units from the massive Saturnine box will be made available to pre-order next week. Alright, so here we have the Saturnine Praetor. Praetors are some of the mightiest Space Marine warriors around, permitted to wield the finest war gear of their legion in battle, including experimental prototypes like Saturnine pattern Terminator armor. This standalone release of the Saturnine Praetor is filled with options including concussion hammer, a Saturnine war axe, and a plasma blaster, along with numerous cosmetic options. Alright, so we have the new Saturnine Praetor. Very cool model right here. This was in the Saturnine box set though. And here we can see the optional assembly options. Definitely looks cool in all the poses. These include 4 heads, a cloth tabard or leather therouges, and 2 different belt options, 2 aigulets to hang across the chest or leave off, 2 pauldron choices for each shoulder, and hanging medallions or therouges for the shoulders. The ball joints for the arms and legs include tabs for easy positioning on battlefield rubble that's included, but these can be cut off for very flexible custom posing. This box contains a Horus Heresy character transfer sheet comprising 339 decals. Alright, and then we have the Saturnine Terminator box set. So interestingly enough, it looks like 4 Saturnine Terminators in this box set. We were kind of initially looking at the Saturnine box and thinking that it would probably be either 3 or 6 Terminators in a box. Very interesting that they have decided to go with 4. Saturnine pattern Terminator armor turns its wearings into walking, tank-wielding, terrifying energy weapons and protected by shields that make them even harder to stop. The standalone release contains 4 miniatures with numerous options. For every 2 Terminators, there are 4 heads, 2 plasma bombards, 2 twin heavy disintegrators, and 2 left-handed Saturnine disruptor fists. Each features ball joints in the knees with tabs for easy posing, which can be cut off for easy customization. The box contains a Legion Astartes infantry transfer sheet containing 618 decals. Alright, and then we have the Saturnine Siege Dreadnought Chiron configuration. Standing taller than even a Leviathan Dreadnought, the Saturnine Siege Dreadnought is a walking colossus, piloted by a Space Marine who is physically attuned to its equipment. They engage their enemy from mid-range, obliterating vehicles and infantry alike with punishing salvos from a range of devastating weapons. So again, this appears to be the one from the Saturnine box set. The Chiron configuration is armed with Disintegrator cannon and heavy plasma bombard arm weapons, plus a choice of chest-mounted photonic incinerators or twin concussion resonators. It features a number of assembly options including leg armor with standard or stylized trim, a Loyalist and Traitor Gorget, 2 head options with 2 faceplates each, an optional sculpted halo, and 3 sets of front-facing armor plates. The box also contains a Horus Heresy Dreadnought transfer sheet comprising 528 decals. Alright, and then we have the Saturnine Siege Dreadnought Ophion configuration. So this one appears to have some different weapon options. The Ophion configuration retains all the same cosmetic customization options as the Chiron, with a set of different weapon options, arm-mounted inversion beamer and gravitation pulverizer, and chest-mounted heavy particle shredders. This box includes a Horus Heresy Dreadnought transfer sheet comprising 528 decals. And then we have the Saturnine Siege Dreadnought weapons. Sprues of both Dreadnought configurations will also be available separately from the Warhammer web store, allowing the additional customization options. Advanced modelers will be able to magnetize the arms in order to switch out configurations as mission parameters demand. So this is one of the issues I actually have with Horus Heresy. There is absolutely no reason for the price they charge for these kits that you shouldn't just buy one Dreadnought and get both weapons configurations. It is absolutely ridiculous that not only they have to deal with a whole extra SKU for the second Dreadnought, but then also 2 more SKUs for the upgrade options. This should be 1 kit instead of 4 SKUs. It should be 1. Instead of having to buy all of the extra accessories and weapon options, you should buy 1 kit and you should get everything. If it's going to be a premium kit, if they're going to demand premium pricing, you should get premium options.
Now a quick word from today's sponsor, Game Bunker. Game Bunker carries a full range of Games Workshop products including miniatures, terrain, paint, tools, and more. Game Bunker offers 15% off MSRP for most Games Workshop products with the discount code WHMS. Receive free shipping in the continental United States on orders over $145. Online orders ship out within 24 hours. Game Bunker is a veteran-owned business. Use affiliate link below, enter discount code WHMS to save 15% on most items at checkout. For fast, friendly service with a discount on your favorite tabletop wargaming purchases, visit GameBunker.net and let them know that Warhammer Man sent you.
Alright, and next we have the Centurion with Power Maul. Centurions have proven themselves the battle time and time again, rising through the ranks with their tactical acumen and physical prowess. The Centurion is armed with the Power Maul, clad in Mark II Crusade pattern armor, and has a choice of helmeted head or bare head with rebreather. This box also contains a Horus Heresy character transfer sheet with 339 decals. So cool model once again. I'm pretty sure this is the guy from the new box set. So absolutely crazy that right out of the gates we see a bunch of drama associated with the Horus Heresy. Right off the bat in the UK, we see retailers advertising the set at 35% off on official launch day, which means that Games Workshop once again produced way too many of these box sets. They clearly decided how many boxes they wanted to sell and made that many instead of deciding how many boxes they're going to actually sell. So just a complete debacle once again. Every time they release something non-40K or Kill Team, it seems like they massively overproduce it and then they just go out of their way to liquidate it as quickly as possible. But then when it comes to like 40K releases and Kill Team releases, nobody can get the ones they want, even if they're ready to pick it up on release day. They need to completely reassess their logistics and production, start actually making what people buy and stop making what they want to sell. It's not up to Games Workshop what people buy. It's not up to Games Workshop what people think is cool. It's up to the customers. The customers have spoken. And realistically, it's predominantly 40K and Kill Team stuff more often than not used for 40K. Stop trying to make Horus Heresy happen. All right, and then next we have the Mark II veterans with Disintegrators. Veteran tactical squads are warriors who have served since the early days of the Great Crusade, or those who have earned the stripes in many grueling battles. They are permitted to wield rare and dangerous weapons, including Terran Disintegrator weapons. This kit contains 10 Space Marine Legion Mark II Crusade pattern armor, and a sprue containing 10 Disintegrator rifles, 2 combi Disintegrators, 2 Disintegrator pistols, 2 Disintegrator blasters, 2 heavy Disintegrators, and 10 battery packs. It also contains a transfer sheet. And then here we have the Disintegrator weapon upgrade set, sold separately, and this looks like this is enough to equip 20 Disintegrators. And then we have the Araknae quad accelerator platform. Every Space Marine Legion had a number of standardized fortifications at its command, and they could deploy from orbit to create networks of defenses and footholds from which their forces could slowly expand to claim new territories. The Araknae quad accelerator platform is one of the largest. A huge gun emplacement arm of the quad accelerator autocannon that protects a protective force field around it thanks to the automatic Pabis. This kit contains a Legion Astartes vehicle transfer sheet with 288 transfers. And I gotta say, out of the entire box set, the Dreadnought and the Araknae quad accelerator platform are by far the coolest things. The Terminators are also cool. The Praetors are pretty cool as well. But after seeing the set fully assembled and on the table, the Araknae quad accelerator platform is absolutely amazing, and the Dreadnought is super cool as well. All right, and then we have the Legion Astartes drop pod. So this is just the old drop pod kit rebranded for Horus Heresy exclusively. And then we have the Age of Darkness markers and token set. We also have a Age of Darkness dice set, but of course the dice boycott continues. And then we have White Dwarf 515 featuring Space Marines, Power Armored Extravaganza. And here we see Titus on the cover. And then we have for Horus Heresy, The End and the Death Volume 3. We also have the Special Edition End and the Death Volume 3 map. So definitely another cool release for the Horus Heresy players out there. I've got to say that I am a little bit underwhelmed by this release. The models are cool. The initial hype was like pretty big, but it appears to have faded pretty quickly. Maybe I'm wrong on this. We're going to give the game a try. We've already got the kit assembled. We're going to play some games and see how it is, go through the actual rule set and see if it flows smoothly. The models definitely look cool on the tabletop, and I'm sure they're going to be a joy to paint. But overall, the price tag looks a little bit too high. Along with most of the Horus Heresy stuff, you are getting like larger quantities of models in the sets typically, but then they have a massive price tag on top of it. A lot of the people that are excited for Horus Heresy are people that already have their armies. So realistically, just going to be buying like a book or two, maybe a new model here and there, but definitely doesn't appear to be like some big seller that's going to be like taking over the scene. Maybe I'm wrong on this. Let me know if you have a local community of Horus Heresy players. How many people have been picking up the new Saturnine box set at your local store? I have decided with the new edition that I'm going to give it a legit try, but I'm going to be honest about how the actual game plays. I think I'm pretty honest about the actual models. Definitely really cool. The box set itself is nice and nice value. But I gotta say, with the rapid release of all the individual kits inside the box, I think Games Workshop is definitely in a hurry to just get this stuff off their shelves. And then seeing massive discounts on the Horus Heresy box in the UK on launch day, especially when Games Workshop has like specific policies in place to limit what kind of percentage or discount retailers are able to offer. Clearly they have worked something out with Games Workshop in order to just get this stuff out of the warehouse. So let me know if you're experiencing something like this, if you've picked up one of these boxes at a massive discount in the UK, or if you picked one up here in the United States or wherever you're located at. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. And as always, special thanks to the Game Bunker for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on most Games Workshop products with code WHMS at checkout. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.